The growing calls across the nation to defund the police.
To end policing as we know it.
Off the charts violence in New York City. 11 people shot in just 8 hours on
This is
Sunday.
about the police officers who every single day put on that uniform and they run towards danger when we run away from it.
Guns up!
Giddy up!
Yes.
Welcome to Night Shift. Night Shift. Failure to Stop Night Shift. Yes. That's right, folks. The #1 show where law enforcement meets culture. It is Failure to Stop. Tonight is Night Shift edition, so thank you for joining us for this episode, wherever you're at when you hear it on Wednesday, March 10th. But tonight, we are live on the Failure to Stop YouTube channel. And right now, for one more episode, or two, maybe, this week is That's it. Mike, the Cop audience, you are cut off. You don't care about this show enough to go subscribe to the YouTube channel for Failure to Stop. You don't deserve to see it. You don't deserve to hear it. Goodbye. Good day, sir.
If you don't go over to the new Failure to Stop YouTube channel and subscribe, that means that you don't like America. And if you don't like America, then get the fuck out.
It's the end of Talladega Nights, where it was the outtakes. It was like, and if you don't like Big Red, then fuck you.
Then fuck you.
Maybe that was the gum. I don't remember what he said.
If you don't follow Failure to Stop, that means you don't support Ukraine.
Yeah,
No,
that's how we get listeners, right? We pull the propaganda strings.
Yeah.
And we guilt people. We white shame them into white knighting yet another cause, right?
Yeah.
That's the strategy we need to adopt, I think.
If you don't follow Failure to Stop, you're a Nazi. Although we're rooting for Nazis now. There's like some Nazis that went over to fight the Russians in Ukraine, and like Twitter now said that they can post as Nazis, and you can put pro-Nazi stuff on Twitter right now as long as you're tweeting about those Nazis that are fighting the Russians, not the Nazis that were protesting.
What we've learned is some Nazis are good, some Nazis are bad, according to others, not according to us, because we're not promoting that. YouTube.
It's all such chaos.
Anyway, thanks for listening to the show, guys. We have 4 shows a week now. Friday is what I guess I would call our flagship show. We kind of flop around between breaking down prominent cases or interesting cases from the past or the present, and we also do what we're calling a little patrolling the internet. We go on duty for you across the internet to find the best law enforcement related news, and we bring it to you. We break it down. We do a little news roundup for you. So that's on Fridays. Tuesday nights is Night Shift. Interesting topics that we feel cops would love to talk about, think about, or discuss on Night Shift. And tonight we've got a good one. We're going to talk about deadly encounters with animals. Yeah. Believe it or not, a lot of cops have had deadly encounters with animals. I saw on Officer Down Memorial page, and this is in no way making light of death or anything, but the reality is this guy was a chief of police somewhere in Podunk. I don't remember where it was. Serves his whole career, no issues. And then like a week away from retirement as a chief, gets kicked by a cow or something like that. Boom. It's it.
Whoa.
Dead. So it's like, you never know when an encounter is going to turn insane.
I mean, tell that to Steve Irwin. He spent all that time messing with all sorts of beasts, and then he gets killed by a stingray. That's embarrassing. Nuts. I don't know. I wouldn't want to go by a stingray.
I don't know. I don't mess with animals in the ocean. That's about as clear as it gets. All right, so tonight's show is brought to you by Ghost Bed. I love my Ghost Bed. I love it. And one of our Discord champions, Sarah Kelch, longtime fan, she's a YouTuber as well. She just bought a Ghost Bed. I shamed her into it because I saw that she was shopping for beds, and I was like, if you don't get a Ghost Bed, you're not who are you? You're dead to me.
Yeah.
You're dead to me.
You don't support,
and she did.
You don't support Ukraine. If you don't support your sleep, you don't sleep on a Ghost Bed, then you don't support Ukraine.
Yeah. If you don't have a Ghost Bed, you can't support Ukraine.
Some
You're
guy
pro-Russian agenda.
Some guy sent us a picture, Mike. I know that I'm the one that monitors the Instagram messages, so you probably didn't see it. I should have forwarded it over to you anyway. But a guy sent us a picture, finally got his Ghost Bed, and his girlfriend was like reverse cowgirl on top of him, but he was laying on his stomach. So I questioned that. That's not a maneuver I'm accustomed to.
It is. Maybe she's got a device on that she's,
right. She said
she's doing something else down there that we can't see.
He said, yeah,
she's reverse pegging.
She's fisting my ass is what he commented. I was like,
yikes.
Hey, as long as it's on a Ghost Bed and you use the promo code, I don't care what you do.
Doesn't matter what you do on it.
I don't keep shame.
Yeah. Just get one and use our code Drinking Bros.
Our code 30%. Is Drinking Bros. Go to ghostbed.com/Drinking Bros and get 30% off of everything. Or you can get 40% off of Ghost Bed bundles where you get a mattress and a adjustable base. I don't know what's going on with my words tonight. This hot tea just isn't working out for me. But you can buy a mattress for like $35 a month, 0 down, 0% financing plan, up to 60 months. That's if you have State Trooper credit. Go check it out. Ghostbed.com/firefighter
credit.
That's really bad credit. Volunteer firefighters can't get a Ghost Bed, unfortunately. That has to be gifted to them.
They're working on a new program to make them be able to be qualified for this. But
Ghost Bed is generous to first responders. They're just not that generous.
That's funny. All right, guys. Also, the underpaid producer is going to drop a link to the Discord. We are going to take when we opened it up. It's in the description. Okay,
just
cool.
So you know, I mean, I can drop it.
We took 50 people into the Discord. We're going to take another 50. He's going to make that link good for the next 12 hours. So first 50 to get it, and we'll welcome you to the Discord. It's a work in progress, but it's home. It's home to the Wolfpack. It's our little den. Is that where Wolfpacks go to rest? Is the den? Is that a thing? I don't know. Speaking of deadly animals. Wolves didn't make the list, by the way.
Not the top 10.
Yeah, not the top 10.
But they were on like the top 15.
Interesting.
They were on the top 15.
Lastro Lopez says he will model our merchandise for about $8.
How much will it cost to get you to do that on a Ghost Bed?
Yeah, he's got to have a Ghost Bed first. Lastro Lopez showed up in a Hard AF Seltzer ad today on the internet that was so amazing. Can you go to Drinking Bros? Can we just play the ad? I loved it so much. If you go on Instagram to Drinking Bros podcast, I think it's on there. If you find it, it's so freaking funny that I want to play it for everyone's enjoyment. The listeners, hey, you know what? If you didn't have the commitment to watch the show live, you just missed some things. That's just the way it is. That's life. That's night shift. Okay, so deal with it, baby. Deal with it. All right. Any other housekeeping items before we dive in? We'll throw Lastro in here somewhere whenever we find it.
Go over to iTunes, give us that rating and review.
Yeah, guys, we'll share the show. If you like the show, share the show. Oh, I didn't even finish breaking down the other two types of shows. Monday is Mike on the Mic, and I pick a topic and rant. Boy, the Cain Velasquez thing took off this morning. People
Man,
really
blew up, brother. That was a good episode. I didn't even know who he was, and then I listened to it. And, you know, it's not that I don't hear your voice enough already. But I was glued to that. I listened to the whole show. So. Dude,
I kind of regret not being more detailed. I know some people are like, yeah, but this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, I didn't really. To me, the point about the whole Cain Velasquez thing wasn't to go into the whole circumstance. It was to compare the fact that one of the reasons he was pissed is because this dude has no bail. I mean, that's the point, is why do child molesters get out on no bail while somebody, I'm not
child molesters get out on bail, and the child molester hunter gets a no bail.
That's what I mean. Exactly. You correct it.
But you know, it's always the magistrate that you get, right? Like I used to magistrate shop, and I even got in trouble for it because I told my rookie, literally to the face of a magistrate, I said, and this is why we magistrate shop. So we're going to go on to the next one. Well, she made a complaint to hire that I said that, and they kind of did like this investigation to see what the rule was. And there's no rule that says you can't magistrate shop. So
Interesting.
you get in front of a magistrate and you don't want to present your probable cause to that magistrate. You want a different one. There's nothing that says you can't say, no, I don't want to give it to you. I'll give it to the next one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's some new information for me.
There you go.
I did not realize that.
Now you know.
And the more you know.
I've got
Someone
the-
said start the episode. Screw you, dude.
Sorry, man.
The episode is started.
All
We're
right.
doing it right now.
It's
You're
night
watching the
shift,
episode.
baby.
You're
It's
watching
night
it.
shift.
Or don't. Go somewhere else. All right. So Lastro Lopez, this is his this show's not even brought to you by Hard AF Seltzer, but I don't know. It's
Listen,
so,
me and I stayed with Lastro. I met him in Nashville, and then we were together at a live show in Austin. And he happens to live like just outside Austin, and so he's like, "Dude, if you want to crash at my place, you can." And dude, one, I knew he was a character when I met him in Nashville, but when I was with him in Austin, dude, we had a ball, bro. We raged on that town. Him and I are actually talking about doing a wine show together. I think it'd be hilarious. But that guy is, man, he is the real deal. He is an entertainer to the max.
the person I gave the big FU to said defund the filler.
Bro,
It's
listen,
not
I'm
filler.
I'm all
It's
into it.
necessary. Yeah.
We just have to warm up, brother. We have
Yeah,
to
we
warm
gotta-
up, man.
Yeah, you can't
Gotta
just
warm
go
up.
into the ninth inning without
can't
being
just-
in the
yeah.
bullpen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's called foreplay, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, learn
People
about
watch
it.
fucking NASCAR, so you know what I mean?
All right, hit us. Tansey did the research on finding us the 10 deadliest animals. We're gonna count down the list, and we're gonna talk about our experiences that we've had with animals and with some stories we hear about on the internet with these animals. So,
First of
walk
all,
us
like
through.
I did, so like tonight's all about deadly animal encounters because there's a lot. So on night shift, right? One of the things that I used to do when I was bored out of my mind on a Monday or Tuesday night when shit wasn't going on in the city, and I had a rookie that was writing all the reports, is I would get on the interwebs and I would look up videos of like lions eating men
Yeah.
or like deadly kangaroo attacks. Like, I don't know, all the fucking weird shit that
You seen that
you
one
do on
that
night shift.
the dude got eaten in front of his kids? He was trying
Oh,
to film it.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube. It's
It's
crazy.
It's an older one though, right?
Yeah, it's way old.
Yeah. That was actually on Faces of Death.
Ooh.
Yeah, he gets out. Now there was a woman that got eaten by a lion a couple of years ago where they were, I mean, it might even have been this year. It might have been 2021. That's what it was, 2021. But she was on a expedition in Africa and she rolled her window down and a lioness jumped through the window and killed her in front of her whole family, her kids and everything
Yikes.
inside the little car that they were using to go on safari with. So lions are the real deal. But anyway, that's what I do on night shift, right? And then you know, all the guys would talk about it and they'd be like, well, did you see when the orca ripped that one woman apart or the bear? I don't know. I guess
Oh yeah, that
it's
SeaWorld
just
shit.
our fucked up mentality. We want to just see more fucked up shit. So we just thought Mike and I it would be fun to bring a little bit of that to you guys today and talk about deadly encounters and then also talk about cops having to deal with some of these deadly encounters. And so there is a top 10 deadliest animals in the world list. Some of them conflict each other though. One of these, like one list, and I'm not using that list, but one list has tapeworms and like some kind of other worm on there. I said fuck that because like you can't combat that, right? Like that's
Yeah, you're not gonna
roundworms and tapeworms.
You're not gonna get
that's-
called to a worm call.
Yeah, that's so I took those off of the list. And then also, but this is crazy because we talked about wolves just a second ago. Did you know that freshwater snails kill more people than lions, sharks, and wolves combined every
Wait
year?
a second. Hold
Freshwater
on a second. Did
fucking
you say
snails, dude.
freshwater snails?
Yeah, and I took them off of the list because
Why?
like
How do they kill people?
200,000 deaths per year.
No, I
Yeah.
can't believe it. I can't believe
Yeah.
that. Nope.
So
I believe that is bullshit.
freshwater
Where
snail, they carry a parasitic disease called cystiosomyces, which infects nearly 250 million people, mostly in Asia, Africa, and South America. It's one of the world's most deadly parasites.
So it passes along a parasite.
Yeah. And you don't contact it from just like wading or swimming or entering the water in any way. You do contract it from just wading, swimming, entering the water in any way. Like you could just be fucking taking a bath. You could just be like putting your feet in there for a minute. And these parasites basically exit the snail into the water, seek and destroy you. It's like there's no rhyme or reason, but they leave the snail and just fucking get inside of you and then you die.
That sounds cool. And it makes me want to makes those pictures of beautiful streams in nature. Yeah. Everybody thinks nature's so beautiful. Like, I just get out in nature.
What about the story of the fish that swam up the dude's urethra?
Oh, that happens a bunch though. It's not a fish. It's a parasite.
Yeah, no, it's a fish, bro.
Swam up a dude's urethra.
You talking about the one that's like in the Amazon that'll just like crawl up in you? That's a parasite.
No, it's
straight up his pee hole.
It's a fish. It's a small fish.
Okay. Oh, well, I didn't put that one on the list either. But it wasn't.
Anyway,
I didn't even see
nature
it on the top 10.
is not nice.
No, it's not. It can be very.
It is a
very
terribly
dangerous.
brutal place out there.
So the list
we have what we have is nuts.
The list I put together is like it is the real list. I just minus the freshwater snail thing because I don't want to talk about freshwater snail deaths. So it's really uneventful. And then these parasite things also
until
uneventful.
A parasite squirms its way into you while you're wading around in your
I don't
vacation
think
spot
any
in Colorado.
cops that are listening to our show aren't swimming in Southeast Asia. So
maybe
not. I don't know. But it's crazy because anyway, I'll get to that story in a minute. But the number 10, what do you think the number 10 is? It kills the most people in the world.
I'd be cheating because I know.
Oh,
I know the answer.
You read my notes?
I looked at the list and I read your notes. Of course I did. You sent them to me. You think I'm going to ignore them?
You actually read them. Lions, Mike. Lions, 220 per year, brother.
It says 200 on my screen.
Well, it's 220. The numbers went up.
Man, 20 people have been killed since this morning.
Crap.
That's intense.
But actually, like, I don't know. Have you ever seen Ghost in the Darkness?
Yes, with Brad Pitt.
That's a real. No, it was
based on it.
I don't think Brad Pitt was in that one.
I think he was.
No, it was the guy from
Look
Batman.
It
was the guy from Batman, dude.
Oh, you're right, Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer. Yeah.
I'm wrong.
It's all right. It's fine.
Not a lot of people get
I want to show you this reenactment.
Not a lot of people get reenactment of what?
Of the fish swimming up the dude's penis.
Are you ready for a reenactment of a fish swimming
film?
up a penis?
Yeah, you're
Put it on the YouTubes. What
is going
that
on?
Is that Tom Brady?
Silvio, felt the need to urinate. As happens. He knew the story about the kangaroo, so he actually sort of took himself partially out of the water. While he was relieving himself, suddenly he said, he just had a bit of a shock, and the first thing he knew was that the fish was already, inside. Only, just the end of its tail was out.
Oh, can you imagine trying to pull that thing out of your wiener?
Dude, I told you it was a fish, bro.
Okay, yeah, but I thought you were talking about the parasite that swims
Is
up
it like
your
a
dick hole
heat
and
seeker?
kills you.
How do they hit the hole so easily? So focused.
Man, that is.
I remember seeing that as a child on the TV on like Discovery or whatever.
A leak again.
And I was like,
I just pee
I don't
myself.
think I'll ever pee outside ever.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Not near a body of water.
Jesus.
Snails. Who wants to get in water anymore? You got snails, slithering
a lot of
around
the animals that we're going to talk about today actually start in the water. So.
Oh gosh.
Get ready for it.
All right, lions. How do they kill 200 people, 220 people a year, dude?
Well, most of
them. How?
Most of the people that these lions kill are on safari, actually. So it's people putting themselves into danger. Other ones of them are like tribal, where they just happen upon the lions and they get fucked up. I'll say that the most recent one, which in the United States, and it wasn't a lion though, it was a tiger. And it was December 30th in 2021. So this last Christmas. But an endangered tiger was shot dead by Florida police. A lot of stories tonight coming out of Florida.
Imagine that.
Not because I'm from there. It's just, I've always said Florida's a shitty place to live. But it was a critically endangered tiger, and it attacked a zoo person that was actually a contractor for the zoo. And so he was supposed to just be cleaning the gift house, the little gift shop. Not hard, dude. Not hard. Fucking scrub some toilets, vacuum up some shit, refold some t-shirts.
Just do your thing, man.
But the job was too boring for him. So he goes outside for no fucking reason. Goes over to this tiger exhibit for no fucking reason. Puts his hand in the tiger exhibit for no fucking reason.
What possesses a person to go, you know what I think I should do? I'm going to go ahead and stick my hand in here and see what happens.
There's a few of those.
Why would you do that
tonight?
Who does that?
I don't know. I don't know. But of course the tiger latches onto the guy's arm, mauls the entire thing to pieces. The dude is sitting there for like 20 minutes waiting for first responders to get there. The first cop shows up, and it was a Kohler County Sheriff's Office. And I watched the video, and he kind of just like walks around it a little bit. And the guy's like screaming too, man. Like I would have put one in the dude for screaming so loud.
Do you feel like why would you
shut the fuck up?
Do you think it was all just mental at that point, screaming? Because physically,
you don't feel that.
You're so far beyond feeling pain at that point. I don't know.
Yeah, he was screaming. Like I would have just put one in him to get him to stop. Because I don't like the screaming stuff.
This dude died?
No, he actually lived, but they killed the tiger.
Well, that sucks.
But my yeah, I know, right? The police officer like gets a good angle too, and he has to be careful because he doesn't want the tiger's head is extremely close to the head of the dude that he's trying to pull through the fence.
Yeah.
So like that's one of those shots that you got to take. It's almost like a hostage situation, like where you're like, don't shoot
the body armor.
Don't jerk that trigger. It's like that. It's like when you're playing pool and that ball's like right on the cusp of going in, and it's like you take the shot and it's a really easy shot, but you still fuck it up somehow. Like I imagine that's maybe what that cop was feeling, where he's like, "Oh God, this is so easy that it's almost really hard." Right. But he squeezes the round off, hits the tiger. The tiger lays over. The dude continues to scream bloody murder until they get him out of there. They still don't know why. Guy still hasn't come off of why he was fucking around over there.
He can't say because there is no reason. There's no reasoning behind it that makes any sort of sense. You just keep his mouth shut.
So because the zoo, like this
or it's shut for him
zoos,
permanently because of the tiger now. I don't know. Maybe he's got his jaws wired shut.
They have this stuff happen at zoos like pretty often. So they have kill teams. That'd be pretty cool. Like, what's your job? I want a kill team at a zoo.
I want a zoological kill team.
Dude, I could just, they're all dressed like Commander Dust.
They would be too.
Just like
that's exactly. Now I got their Dharma Initiative patches on.
Or what was the movie? Was it Old School? Where he's like, you fucking shot me in the neck with a dart.
I love you, man. But you're crazy, man.
Yeah. So anyway, they the jail, but because it was night, it was super late at night. They didn't have any.
No,
they didn't have anybody. Kill team was off. The rapid response kill team. So cops had to do the real work. But the guy at the zookeeper says it's a very sad day at the zoo. Man,
it is for the tiger.
Yeah, what a dumbass though.
And you know what though
is like we need to, before we get into this, like we need to establish people that not deserve to die. And I'm not saying that like Steve Irwin or anything deserve to die, but like we need to. I didn't want to focus on stories where people just like. There's a difference between people who fuck with animals and then get got, and then people who like are just fucking around in nature and get got. You agree with that?
Yeah, for sure. Like there's a big difference between, hey, I'm on vacation in Australia and I decide me and the family are gonna go for a walk, and all of a sudden, unbeknownst to me, I'm snapped up by some kind of strange Australian snake, which is also, I believe, what Lázaro Lopez refers to his genitalia as, and you're all of a sudden, injected with poison and you die. Yeah. Versus, hey kids, let's go find. I heard that there was these poisonous Australian snakes. Let's go out and try to find them, and then you're purposely playing with fire, and you're bound to get burned at that point, right? I have a harder time feeling bad for people. Like there's zero part of me that feels bad for the guy that stuck his hand in the tiger cage. Like, hey man, like it sucks. I can agree with you there, but I don't feel bad for you.
Yeah, like,
you're literally that stupid, and this is just how life is. So
the only other time like we have to worry about lions in the United States was, and this was in Ohio, which is fairly close to Michigan, right?
yeah. That's right.
So
next door.
Zanesville, Ohio sheriff's deputies had to shoot nearly 50 animals, including 18 Bengal tigers, 17 lions in a big game hunt across the state's countryside. This was
The
this
Savannah of
homeowner.
Ohio.
Yeah, this guy, he is tired of his neighbors. He's a homeowner, and all these homeowners just kept pestering him about having all these lions and shit. And the cops kept coming to his house and messing with him with all these lions. And finally, he just had it. So fuck you guys. You don't want me to have my animals. You don't want me to have my freedom. Fuck you. Kills himself, but before he does that, he lets go all of the animals. After an all-night hunt that extended into that Wednesday afternoon, 48 animals were killed. 6 others, there was 3 leopards, a grizzly bear, and 2 monkeys were captured and taken to the zoo. So all but 6 things survived. A wolf was
ordinary cops were just out there like hunting these guys on the Ohio savannah.
Yeah, and then if you, and it was
nuts.
like neighborhoods.
What a great call.
Yeah, and then listen to this, like 2. So that's, if you do the math, that doesn't equal 56. That's because we're too short. But 1, they found the wolf later dead. I don't know if it got smoked by a car or something else. And then the last animal, it was a monkey, and it was eaten by one of the large cats.
That turned into quite
those
a
that got
menagerie
killed
there.
by police were 6 black bears, 2 grizzlies.
Of course they were. Sorry.
That's why they put that first in the article. Yeah, it's like police officers kill 6 innocent black ...
Unarmed bears.
Bears. 2 grizzlies, a baboon
On their way to get their GED.
3 mountain lions. Yeah, that's a lot, dude. 6 black bears, 2 grizzlies, a baboon, 3 mountain lions. Man, it was, the one guy says it's like Noah's Ark wrecking right here in Zanesville, Ohio.
Dude.
Like all these animals. So they dispatch these cops and they have to run around. The population in Zanesville is 25,000, and they had to close all the schools like 55 miles east of Columbus. Like they closed down everything.
Dude, just imagine that you're on patrol. You're driving down whatever no-name street in Zanesville, and all of a sudden a monkey, a black bear, a tiger, and freaking mountain lion come strolling across the street chasing a wolf, and you're like, what? What did I just see? I need another coffee. What is going on? That would be nuts. Imagine calling that in a dispatch. Like, hey, I could need a day off or two. Or I really just saw zoo animals over here on Smith Street.
Dude, so Sheriff's Deputy Jonathan Mary was the first to respond. He said he shot a number of animals, including a gray wolf and a black bear. He said the bear charged him and he fired his pistol, killing it with 1 shot when it was about 7 feet away.
He was like,
good for him.
He pulls up, saw those animals. He's like, I was made for this. Goes to
shoot it in the eye or something. Like,
know.
how else are you gonna get through a bear's skull, man?
10 millimeters. I heard that's what Ted Nugent hunts him with.
Yeah, 10 millimeter would work.
Yeah. One officer says it was like a war zone with all the shooting and so forth with the animals, said Sam Kopak, who was outside Tuesday afternoon when he saw Thompson's horses acting up. Kopak said he turned and saw a male lion lying down on the other side of the fence. The fence is not going to be a fence that's going to hold an African lion, Kopacek said. Dude, it's crazy.
That's nuts, man. Yeah, lions. I guess that's how they. That's our only real danger in the United States from lions is people that decide to hold them captive, and then let them loose after they off themselves.
Yeah, and then the next one on the list, we don't really have to worry about it at all in America, but it's on the list, so it's fun to talk about with your buds in their cop cars or in your EMS
these things aren't
truck.
as nice as they seem.
The firehouse, which is a hippo. Hippos kill 500 people per year. These fucking things weigh up to 4,400 pounds. They're twice as deadly as lions, and the second deadliest mammal. First deadliest mammal is guess what?
Another human?
Yeah, human beings are the first deadliest mammal. The second
Spoiler
deadliest mammal is a hippo, but they only kill people in Africa. But I did see this story of this woman from Tampa, Florida. She goes on a trip to Africa, and they go on a beginner's canoeing trip.
Okay.
Canoeing trip for beginners on this river in Africa.
Uh-huh.
When next thing she knows, her and her husband are launched into the air where she could see the water and her feet and everything as she was launching up in the air and then falling back down into the water, having no idea what the fuck happened. She hits the water. She swims to the surface, sees her husband already making his way towards the shore. She's like right behind. She was actually in front of him because she got launched in front of him, but he was booking it towards the shore. So she goes to swim towards the shore. She's jerked under the water, thrashed around side to side, but she's a amateur scuba diver. So she was like, I've always been told that whenever shark bites somebody to just relax, just let it do its thing, and then hold your breath, and just, pray or whatever.
Oh, I thought you were supposed to punch the shark in the nose.
Yeah, I mean, if you can, but I don't think you're punching, I don't think sharks weigh 3,000 fucking pounds.
I don't know what they weigh, but
I don't know. But
you ain't doing anything to a hippo.
no. And a hippo's like just nothing but muscle. I mean, they call it
Probably wouldn't even feel it if you hit it underwater. They're not even gonna.
A shark only really weighs, a great white, 1,200 to 2,400 pounds. So.
Yeah, so this is like 3,000 pounds, and they're hippo means horse, water horse, essentially. So anyway,
hippopotamus.
So it mauls her up really good. They take her to like I don't know, like I forgot, like I don't know, like Zambia or something, or Zambia. They take her to Zambia, and she's got
known
all
for
these
their
surgeries,
advanced hippopotamus treatments,
right? And she's just got all these puncture wounds, and it's crushed like everything in her leg. So anyway, she ended up having, I don't know, like 17 something surgeries over the course of a couple of years. She had to have skin grafts. They had to redo the plate because the one that they did in Zambia was like not fucking right or something.
It was probably like made from Coke bottles that they assembled left over on the streets.
But then the only other article that really like pertains to the United States and hippos, besides a woman from the United States. And by the way, like surviving a hippo attack is like one of the very few like rare things that you can survive. Like they said that like hippos, when they attack you, like they're just going to kill you. They're not
can
there
survive
to do
or you
anything
can't
else.
survive.
Very rarely does anybody ever survive
Oh, yeah.
a
Oh,
hippo
okay,
attack.
gotcha.
There's very few stories about people surviving, and they kill fucking
Hippos
people
like
all
to
the time.
start what they finish.
Yeah, and it's only most of the time that they kill people is mainly inside of the water. By the way, these fucking things can bite at a crocodile in half. Like there are reports and sightings of them biting full-grown crocodiles in half. They have these front teeth that are made to just destroy things. They're not for eating or for anything else. They're just for killing shit. And most of their attacks happen with people in boats. So these fucking things will flip a boat and then kill everybody that falls out of it.
Do you think that they know that there's people in it because they've adapted to know, oh, there's a boat, that means lunch? Or
No,
do you think that
because-
they think it's some type of animal?
No, so listen to this. So this is another crazy thing. They're very territorial. They're like one of the most territorial animals, but their territory consists of being in the water, and it's a very large territory.
If you're in the water, you're in my territory.
Yeah, it's like
Between the snails and the hippos, I'm never going in, and the penis fish.
Yeah, like
I'm never going in the
essentially,
water again.
If you can see a hippo,
It's called a kangaroo, by the way.
like
Kangaroo.
you're
Good thing,
in its.
good thing it'd be hard to find my hole.
But do you know how they mark their territory? You know how
How?
like most animals like pee on stuff?
Piss and shit, yeah.
Yeah, this motherfucker shits and then spins its tail like a propeller of an airplane and throws the shit everywhere.
Dang,
That's how it
I
marks
thought
its
rhinos
territory.
did that as hippos, huh?
Yeah, hippos, they freaking wave their tails around and they do it. And now I don't think that they're known for like necessarily eating people. But there has been cases where they have vomited up humans.
Whoa.
Yeah. Or something like that. So
Crazy.
but anyway, in the United States, some dumbass went into, and this is, you can get the video on YouTube, but he was at the Los Angeles Zoo, and he climbs over the fence of the hippo exhibit, climbs over another fence.
What is wrong with these people?
Stalks up on the back of this hippo, smacks it on the ass, runs up, jumps both fences, does like a celebratory dance. This guy is like, he looks like a basketball player, actually. He's like super tall and everything, but he like does this like stupid dance. Like he's so excited that he just slapped. Everybody else is like looking at him like, what the fuck? And then the guy took off running through the zoo. He was later
Hippos
caught.
are fast, aren't they?
Yeah, bro. They can run 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, dude. They
8
run
to
faster
20.
than me.
Average human speed, what is it?
I think it was like 7 or 8 miles an hour.
Yeah, they're cruising.
And these things go run.
6.5 to 8 miles per hour.
Yeah, so what I say is between 7 and 8. I was pretty close.
Yeah, you're right.
I think I was pretty close. But here's a cool story about hippos, and then we'll move on because it's not really something that cops have to worry about. But there's this dude in South Africa who this guy he rescues a baby hippo, and he names it Humphrey. This guy's name is Els. Now Els is 40 years old. He adopts his hippo.
Listen, man, you're not changing evolution and taming a hippo, bro.
Yeah. Now, do we have that picture of Els riding this 2,000-pound beast?
It's up.
He's up there.
You got it up now, so you can see on the screen. Follow us on YouTube.
Looks like he works at an oil change place.
Right.
What's that shirt?
He keeps this thing like in his yard. He's known for riding it like a horse, where he just gets on the back of it and rides this damn thing around. Well, Mr. Els, that didn't last all that long because he ends up going missing. And when an ambulance, so somebody calls, he did an article, and he says in the article, it's the Daily Mirror, where he says, this hippo is like a son to me. He says, it's a little bit dangerous, but I trust him with my heart that he will not harm anybody.
What does that
I
mean?
can swim with him. I can go in the water. He allows me to get on his back. I ride him like a horse. He swims with me. He's like a son to me. Next article, an ambulance spokesman told Daily Mirror that paramedics found Els immersed in a river and had been bitten several times, nearly in half, by the 2,000-pound hippo. Which we've got more stories. We've got more stories tonight of people getting fucked up by these pets. Listen, I want you guys to learn from these stories. Like, these are animals. Like, if we haven't learned anything, you don't own tigers, you don't own lions, unless you're willing to get bit or die.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Eric,
but
can you jiggle your mic cable for me? Like the dongle to the Focusrite. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
Like to your computer, because it's making a noise.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
We'll see how it goes.
There we go.
All right. No, it was just happening for like a minute straight. I wanted to...
So, real quick before we move on from these dumbass hippo deaths, because they're just that. They're just dumb, right? Like, it's just putting yourself in a bad situation. Don't go to Africa. You know that shit there is going to kill you.
Stay away.
Don't go. Like, you know, there's hippos and crocodiles in the water. There's parasites. There's all this other bullshit. Stay out of it. But most of the attacks, they mostly attack fishing boats by capsizing and killing everyone on board. And that is according to like a Protect Hippopotamus website.
Dude, the cops in Colombia might have to worry about it. Jacob Nichols says that over 80 hippopotamus are in Colombia because of Escobar illegally importing them.
What?
So if we have any Colombian cops that listen to the show, be careful if you get any calls related to hippos.
Yeah, so I was reading about like how hippos actually kill people on fishing boats, and they kill like people on really big boats too. So they see the boat, they go underwater, they kick off of the bottom, and they have webbed feet.
Straight blast,
and they just straight blast it into the air, and then they go through and crush everybody. Is how they do it. So they basically go up because their mouths, they're like their bite is like 300 times the bite of like a lion's jaws or some shit like that. Like, it's massive. Like, they have the strongest bite of any animal on the earth. They can crush all sorts of things. Like I said, they can bite a crocodile in half, and it's not just humans. So like, they are territorial to anything. Like, they'll fuck up anything that gets in their water, like any animal, including
1,820 psi is their bite force.
Dang.
What's the bite force on a lion?
Fast.
Just out of curiosity. Or what's the bite force on a crocodile? Because that's what we're going to talk about next.
21,000 for the crocodile or
And what is it?
alligator.
And what is it for-
Lion is 650.
And what is it for the hippo?
1,820.
Okay.
Oh, no, wait, no. 2,100 is for the alligator. Sorry.
I was gonna say 21,000.
Yeah, I'm dumb. I misread it earlier.
Well, that's our next on our list, which is number 7 on the list.
Now,
Crocodiles.
alligators. Plenty of cops have come in contact
Yes.
with crocodiles or alligators. I don't know the freaking difference other than their snout. They're supposed to be
Okay,
different.
so crocodile and an alligator, they're hard to tell apart. An alligator is usually going to be green or black, and a crocodile can be any other color.
Isn't it their
but-
snout though? Like the shape.
Their snout does
crocodile
take
is
a
pointy.
V shape.
Whoa, hold on. Crocodiles have 3,700 pounds per square inch.
Oh, so okay,
That's nuts.
yeah. So that's more than a
The hippo has the strongest bite force of any land animal.
Oh, okay,
The crocodiles of like water or whatever.
okay. But
Till
I
that
know
snail
that
rubs
when
on the
you look at
belly and gives 'em the parasites.
crocodiles versus hippos, the hippos always win.
Well, yeah. I mean, a different ball game. Yeah.
Um,
Smarter.
so yeah, and then crocs, the difference between a croc, like it's sometimes hard because their snouts are V. Now I'm from Florida. I was born all around gators. I mean, gators was something I looked out for every single day. Matter of fact, quick caveat story. Our school bus had to turn around when I was in elementary school a few times because alligators were sunbathing in my neighborhood across the road. They would lay out across the road and the bus couldn't get down the neighborhood. So they'd just be like, well, fuck it. You guys aren't going to school today. There was an alligator in the way. I couldn't get down to your house. So, but crocs and alligators are hard to tell the difference. Yeah, they do have a V snout. Now, like your African crocodiles, they have the really long snout, but your Florida crocodiles, they really look a lot like alligators. They just have a slightly slimmer snout. But crocodiles are actually more aggressive than an alligator. And one of my favorite stories for alligators was the man who was a burglary suspect in Florida, and he takes off on foot running. They got the helicopter up in the air. All these cops are trying to come down on him. The dude goes into the water, disappears. So they have to wait. It was at nighttime. And then they wait. The dog was barking at the water, but nobody went in, and they went around the water a bunch. They couldn't find the guy. And then they waited for the sun to come up, and then they found him. And he had been eaten by an alligator.
Whoops. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy, huh?
No. Also, recently, though, in the news, an alligator headbutted a policeman and knocked him right out before swatting away other officers with his tail as they tried to remove it from the Florida alligator. Listen, Florida cops are different, man.
They're built different.
My best friend is a Florida cop. My cousin, she works for the sheriff's department down there, and they deal with some really fucked up shit all the time. I mean, all the Florida man stuff, of course. Then they got the Casey Anthony shit. Then they got, the Brian Landry shit. And they got the Tiger King stuff going on. But I mean, they're constantly fighting like all these weird reptiles. I mean, they've got pythons that they got to deal with. But like alligators, I guess it's like a common thing for the cops, and they have to get rid of them.
What do they do with them though?
I guess they relocate them.
Do they? Or do they shoot them?
No, I think they relocate them. Most of them. There's a lot of videos and pictures, but this one was just this was in June of 2018. There's a really great video. So oh my God. If you go to YouTube, so this gator is about 5.5 feet, and you've got 3 Florida cops, and they're wearing cargo shorts, right? Because like that's super Florida.
If you just go to YouTube, this video is just going to magically pop up, or
Yeah. You just type in like
you just go to YouTube and
just type in cop
read our mind.
Cop gets knocked out by gator. So the cops do a great job of like getting on top of this thing. They tape its mouth shut. And then they try to put it on and it's a chick cop that gets blasted. So they put this alligator up onto the bed of the truck. The tail whips around and smacks the bitch in the face.
I remember seeing this video. I didn't know anybody got knocked out though.
Knocked her the fuck
Look at that
out.
thing.
God.
I hate the short uniforms, dude. Just does it
No, I
really make
love
you that
them.
much cooler?
Yes.
No,
Look at
it
this dude
doesn't.
just
It's terrible.
knocked out. Look at the cop. He's just like in one of the pictures. If you look at it, he's just like laying on the ground, just completely out cold.
That's a big old gator, man.
But yeah, gators are no joke, man. You gotta watch out. Then we have the Disney story.
Well, wait a second. We haven't even seen her get knocked out yet.
Oh, you're gonna play the video?
We're playing it right now. You're
Oh.
in the studio with us.
Yeah, but I'm all over the interwebs. Here it goes. Whap.
There's not even. Oh wait,
Hang
there's a
on.
chick.
Boom. See him fall? Yeah, that's the one that got headbutted. Bam! But the first dude got headbutted and knocked out. Did you see him go down? It was like a UFC fight. Did you see it?
Jeez, kinda.
Oh my
Everybody else
god.
probably did.
Oh my gosh.
The things
And-
cops deal with. Alligators.
Yeah.
I'm glad that in Michigan I've never had to go on an alligator call.
Yeah, and then they had the one at Disney World.
Pit
where-
bulls, yes. Alligators, no.
Yeah, they had the one at Disney World where the little girl went too close, like went swimming in the water that says "Don't swim in it." She got eaten. But now here's a sad one too. August 30th, 2021, victim was attacked in floodwaters of Hurricane Ida in Louisiana.
Oh my gosh.
The attack was witnessed by the victim's wife, who said the alligator bit his arm off. A 12-foot-long alligator believed to have attacked Satterley was captured and killed on September 13, 2021. Human remains were found in his stomach. They have Louisiana has approximately 1.5 million alligators.
Even the gators were looting during the hurricane out there.
But they're saying this is the first
Looting
fatal
humans.
alligator attack in Louisiana since 1774. That's crazy. Seems like there's one a year in Florida. Here's one in if you're in South Carolina, May 1st, 2020, a victim was pulled under and drowned by an alligator in a pond near her house. August 20th, 2018, another one in South Carolina. This was in Hilton Head. She was dragged to her death while walking her dog near a golf course in a gated community. Witnesses said Klein was attempting to protect her dog when the alligator pulled her into a lagoon. The dog was not harmed. Thank God.
I wouldn't save my
Thank
dog.
God.
If it was me or my dog against
Bye.
an alligator, sorry. I mean, goodbye,
Dude,
dog.
here's another one. June 18th, 2018. Another girl dragged to her death and dismembered while walking her dog at Silver Lake Rotary Nature Park in Davie, Florida.
Man, can't come to Florida.
Like, don't walk your dog next to the fucking pond.
Right?
Dang, dude.
Yeah, it is what it is. What's
This one, yeah.
oh.
Yeah, there's a lot, man. There's so many alligator deaths. That is ridiculous. Well, all right. That's enough alligator deaths. Let's get on to some more exciting shit. We don't need to really talk about number 6, scorpions. Just know that scorpions kill.
Wait, did we miss elephants?
I think I just skipped elephants altogether because, do we have any good elephants like in the United States stories?
I rode an elephant once.
Did you really? I don't see them on the list.
there a
7 is
photo?
crocodiles.
There probably is a photo. It was like at the Shriner Brothers Circus, Barnum and Bailey Circus or whatever. When I was a kid, I rode an elephant.
What
They
list
kill
do you?
600 humans a year.
I was lucky to
they're
survive.
not on the list.
You skipped it.
It's right
I did?
after hippo.
Oh, that's number 8.
Numbers go in
Fucking-
order,
Who
Tansy.
gives a shit about elephants? They're cool as shit.
Well, it reminds me
Oh.
though of a circus.
Have you seen them like stampeding though?
Yeah, it's
That's
yeah.
not
scary,
going to be
bro.
easy to make
It's
it out
scary.
of.
Yeah, I'm
But
not
it
dealing
reminds
with
me of
that.
a circus animal story. I wasn't working that night, but it was one of those things where I came in. I loved working night shift, but whatever. I was on day shift at the time, and I came in, and night shift is all smoking and joking about their call that they had, and it turns out that the carnival had come into town. So when that happens, you're arresting every carny because they all have multiple felony warrants, and they're always roaming around the city, breaking into cars, stealing shit, smoking meth, whatever they do, whatever carnies do, and then they go ahead and bolt something together for your kid to ride the next day. Heads up, don't ride it.
Dude, our
and
crime
then,
goes up so much when the carnival comes to town.
Dude, it's terrible. I hated it. But they got a call of somebody. They thought it was a fluke at first, right? So they get a call that like, hey, I think there's like a horse in my yard. Like, it's not mine. Like we don't live in an area where people have horses. Okay. So, it turns out they start getting multiple calls. Well, the ponies that would be like in that little circle caravan thing they put kids on to ride the ponies, they all got loose. And they were roaming all around town, and they literally had to like mobilize people to try to like corral these things. They got them all back too on night shift. They got them all back. Good work, solid work, boys. And but I would have loved to have been a part of that, just to say that I wasn't, but it still happened. And so that's what elephants made me think of.
Yeah,
there was no elephants there, but I did ride one.
Yeah, for time's sake, I
and
just
lived to tell
decided
about it.
To leave out the elephants. I'm going to leave out scorpions too, unless you have any good scorpion death stories. But just to let you know, scorpions kill 3,300 people. Most of your scorpion attacks, though, in the United States are all over in Arizona and Texas.
Yeah,
and
my buddy in
Tejas.
Arizona, when he moved there from Alabama, said that he turned a black light on in his backyard when he moved there, and there was like thousands of them, and he just got to killing night after night after night until like it dwindled it down. But they go by water, and there was like a little reservoir in their neighborhood, so they were drawn to the water. So if you get in the drier areas, then you don't have the scorpion problems. But I stepped on a scorpion in the middle of the night in Costa Rica one time.
I got stung by a scorpion twice when I was younger.
Yeah, there's only so many of them that are poisonous, but do they
hurt like a motherfucker?
How many people do they kill in the United States? Cops aren't really going to get called.
I don't think any in the United States. I didn't really see much about it in the United States. It's like 91%, like just of attacks, scorpion attacks.
Dude, I remember when we
According to
lived
data,
in Costa Rica, and I was playing with my I was playing with my Thomas the Train set or an airplane. I can't remember. I was 3, and I remember I lifted it up, and there was just all these scorpions under it, and then like a whole scorpion family was like coming out of the
They're
wall.
chilling down there.
Yeah.
But no, you might get called as a cop after someone got stung by a scorpion to sit there and watch until the fire department shows up to take them to the hospital. I don't know.
Yeah, there's not like it doesn't look like it's that big of a deal in the United States, except that like a fuck ton of people get stung by them. But like,
yeah, but there's not
killing you.
too many
Not here.
species that are fatal in the U.S., right?
No. Yeah, scorpions isn't one of those things you really got to worry about. Assassin bugs is number 5 on the list. They kill 10,000 people per year. We don't have to worry about that in the
Is
United
this the
States.
kissing bug? I tried to figure this out.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know anything about it.
Pretty
It
sure.
didn't look the same as that, but that has this weird snout. But they liquefy their enemies. It's pretty cool. I wish I had that power.
So
I mean, I
is it
wouldn't want to
like-
have to stick my mouth on someone to liquefy them. That would make it gross. But if I could liquefy them with my mind, that'd be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, kissing bug sends the same disease as
the assassin bug.
the assassin bug. I don't know if they're
I don't know if they're
thing.
called the same. I don't know if it's one and the same or not.
But
Chagas
assassin bug
disease
is number
doesn't sound
5 on the
fun.
list. Kills 10,000 people. Where does the assassin bug live?
No, I don't know anything about it. I couldn't figure out if the assassin bug was the same as the kissing bug because when you
It's a
look up,
family of bugs. It's a family. They can look different.
oh, that explains.
Wait
it.
a minute. I just typed in assassin bug and it said North Carolina. What
run
the fuck?
for your life, Tansey.
It said this.
The wheel bug, Aurelius cistrus, is North Carolina's largest assassin bug. It gets its name from the prominently spiny wheel found on the thorax. Fuck, dude.
You're screwed.
Are
And
assassin
you
bugs
got- you got
poisonous or
woods
dangerous?
around-
Beware
you
the
got
assassin
woods
bug.
around you too. You better check that shit for assassin bugs.
Just Eric in the woods.
I don't know. I'm gonna
Looking
have
for
to do some
bugs.
more research on that. That's scary, dude. Because they kill 10,000 people per year on the world. But number 4 on the list,
Ooh.
dogs.
59,000 people a year.
People, dude.
And I thought they were supposed to be domesticated. That'll tell you something. They should start considering deaths from dog domestic violence then.
Yeah, I
What the
didn't
heck is
realize that.
going
Do you know what dog attacks people the most? What breed of dog?
Oh, no, I don't. I mean, I could go the cliche route and think it's a pit bull, but
65.6% of fatal dog attacks come from
Rottweiler.
pit bulls.
oh yeah, pit bulls. Yeah, it's genetic. dude.
10.4% come from Rottweilers. 4% come from German Shepherds. 3.9 come from mixed. 3.5 from American Bulldogs. 3.2 from Mastiff and Bull Mastiffs, and 3% from Huskies. About 13.
Interesting.
But a
Pit bulls
crazy
take the cake there, don't they?
Yeah, they.
Well, they train them to fight.
But I mean, it's
5%
literally in their genes now. Like their DNA is warped. I don't know.
Yeah. So a crazy story here, right down the road in my own county, Johnson County. One of the law enforcement officers here in the county that I live in, over Christmas this year, went outside to have a conversation with his neighbor. And he heard some ruckus going on inside, and he came inside, and his child, I think the child was 2 years old, had been ripped into many pieces by his two Rottweilers. The Rottweilers were playing tug of war with its body, dude.
Yeah. I've heard too many stories. I've been on too many calls where I don't want to get into a pit bull debate. I mean, it's fine. I have friends that have pit bulls. I'll pet a pit bull and I'll let it sit on my lap, and I don't really freak out about it.
Why do you want an animal that accounts for 64% of the
all
fucking
animal
of all fatal deaths,
dog deaths,
and they're the number 5 most deadliest? That to me is just as dumb as going and swimming with an orca.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Riding a hippo. Dogs kill more people than hippos, but we're gonna make fun of the dude for
riding
owning
a hippo, but not making.
But
fun
like,
of
I should be
people
making
walking
fun
around.
of all the people who own a pit bull.
It's
It's just like asking for fucking death in your home.
I definitely went on a lot of calls where a family pit bull that had been not a rescue pit bull, mind you, not one that was like had previously been raised to fight and be aggressive and all that, but from a puppy pit bull. It's 2 years. The pit bull's 2 years old. And then all of a sudden it just turns and snaps. And that's it. Not nips at their kid or the neighbor kid or whatever. Not just gets defensive, but attacks. I've seen it more than anything else. I mean, that's anecdotal. I know, right? Like, so it's like if you had a bad experience with a cop, you could be like, well, that was my experience, so most cops got to be like that. Same thing. It's anecdotal. I get it. There's a lot of factors here. I'm not an idiot, but I just know the experience, and I think it's you got to be careful.
So in Willow Springs, North Carolina, that's where the Rottweiler attack happened, and the child was 10 months old. So it wasn't even a year old. And deputies told the TV station that they arrived to find the father, Scott Winberry, a member of law enforcement, giving aid to his daughter, Malia. Deputies continued to give aid before EMS arrived and took over. A short time later, Malia was declared dead. Super sad, dude. Super sad.
There's one kid that I grew up with, and he was walking through his neighborhood. This is really fun. It's actually kind of horrible. And a pit bull broke out of somebody's backyard, and he was like a mile away from his house.
That'll get him in shape real quick.
And he was a heavy set kid too. And he was attacked by the pit bull and ultimately got away from it, but had to run until he got to his house while the pit bull chased him and was biting at his legs.
I actually
he started eating
got
some
bit
carrot
by a
sticks
pit
after
bull.
that.
I got bit in the back of the leg by a pit bull one time. Pissed me off.
I got bit by a police canine one time on a track at the very beginning of a track. We had
Were you in front of the handler?
No, it was he was brand new, the dog. It was one of his first tracks. We had an armed robbery at like this little convenience store. Like, do you have these by you at all? I didn't see them when I was visiting, but we have these shops. They're not as common anymore. They used to be super common in the 80s and 90s here, but now there's just every once in a while you'll see them. They're like drive-through things. It used to be like to get milk. And then they expanded. They're like mini convenience stores, but you drive through. You don't go inside. You guys have those?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, we don't have those here. No.
Oh, so
But
that's
Florida
what
does.
it was. So that place gets robbed, and we had like this. It was kind of like a serial convenience store robberies happening, and we got on the call really, really fast. Like we got there very shortly after this dude skated away, and so we called the canine, and the track starts, and whatever. The dog was just so excited, and I was just kind of like standing in the lot. I wasn't in the way, and I had learned my lesson long before. You don't shine the dog from behind, and you don't stay too close to the dog. But he was excited, so he took a nice chomp on my left thigh, and I can attest that it did not feel good, and it was really not even. He didn't latch on and start gnawing. But I would tell you one thing, I've been bitten on a sleeve before, like the bite sleeve, but I would want no part of getting further ripped up by a canine at all.
Oh, yeah. I mean, dog deaths are really bad because they just kind of chew you up, you know?
Seth Dunlap in the comments says he got bitten by a fucking dolphin one time.
Damn, dude.
How does that happen, dude?
Dolphins rape people,
Dude,
too.
that's scary.
Yeah,
especially
dolphins
guys.
do rape people.
Especially guys.
So
they're
not a
horny as
raper.
shit. Did you know, like, they're like one of the only mammals besides humans that have threesomes for pleasure?
Dolphins?
They also
Yeah.
get high
How
off
can you?
pufferfish. Did you know that?
I don't know.
No, dolphins live their best life down there.
They hit
Dude,
I
pufferfish.
don't know if they're getting high on pufferfish.
Yeah,
and
no,
banging-
They're gonna have an
banging like it
orgies
once.
and
They
shit.
take turns hitting the venom off of it because it makes you high.
Dude, I'm all in.
Dang, man.
I'm gonna come back as a dolphin.
Gangster.
Like a
Dolphins. I don't know. Crazy. That's my dog story anyway.
yeah. So dogs. So I mean, shit, dude. I'd rather own a hippopotamus than a dog. According to this.
According to
I'm
the-
just kidding. I'm just
By the numbers.
I'm
By
just
the
saying,
numbers.
by
It's
the
safer to own
numbers,
a hippopotamus.
I'm gonna own a hippo. We're working our way down this list. It's getting better as we go. Number 3, snakes. 138,000 people are killed by snakes every year. This one hits close to home because this last year, 2021, Raleigh, the town that I live in, you know, our lives were, you know, a wrench was thrown into our daily lives where we had to shut everything down, not because of snow, not because of COVID pandemics, but because some asshole lost his fucking spitting zebra cobra.
What?
Yeah. So this guy lost his spitting cobra, one of the most venomous snakes in the world, and he just loses it. So they locked down everything for days trying to find this zebra cobra. They finally located it. The way they locate it is they put out sticky traps all over people's porches and stuff to get this thing to like squirm onto a thing, and then it would get stuck. But all the homeowners, everybody, man, like, I mean, they had like intersections shut down. People were like scared because like it's a snake. It can get into your houses and shit, and it's not native to America. So it's just going to try to get warm, and this was getting cooler outside. So they were like, this thing's probably going to be in somebody's house, or
It's like as scary as a serial killer being on the loose.
oh, dude. But they
Constant
charged the
breaking news
dude.
updates for the snake.
Yeah, there was. It was the only news. But they there's a bunch of pictures. If you just type in like Raleigh police king cobra, you'll see it, or zebra cobra. There's lots of pictures of the thing. But here's
There's
another
a lot of
fun-
Florida cops trying to catch snakes too. Same
Well,
thing.
here's a fun Florida cop story. It's really not fun. It's more depressing than anything. But thank God that the jury in this case only took 2 hours to find Jaren Hare and her boyfriend, Charles Darnell, guilty on all charges in the death of their young daughter, who is 2 years old. But essentially, they had a pet Burmese python. And this python was like, dude, I want to say this thing was like 8 feet long or something. Yeah, the thing's name was Gypsy. And they had it for 5 years, and it was massive. And they have it in this, it's 8 foot 6 inches. So I was right. What did I say? 9 feet?
Dang.
So 8 foot 6 inch python. Now, Mike, I got a thing anyway about snake people. I never get along with them ever. I've tried. Recently, I came into contact with a couple of snake owners, thought they were going to be kind of cool, but then I even told them, "Hey,
Came
man, it's
into
weird.
contact with
I'm glad you guys like frequent my distillery, but in my past, I've really never gotten along with people who own snakes. Sure enough, these people are just as nuts. Have their own. Yeah, matter of fact, they get their friend drunk at a pool party, get in a fight, and the dude leaves their house, ends up killing the 8-year-old daughter in the car. wrecking it drunk. And this
what?
couple
What
made
English are you using?
What is happening?
Yeah, so these
You just said
people I
two
know,
sentences that made no sense.
these people I know, they're snake owners. They invite their friend over to party at the pool with them.
Okay.
Their friend gets drunk. They all get in a fight, and he leaves with his 8-year-old daughter in the car.
Oh, the guy has the 8-year-old daughter.
Yeah,
He
and
didn't
he
kill
wrecks the
these
car.
people's okay.
No, he wrecks the car like 80 miles an hour, killing the girl. Well, the snake owner people take no responsibility in that. Matter of fact, show no remorse. And you can go further to like take stabs on social media, folks, about it. It was just, I knew I wasn't going to get along with them because it's snake people, man. They're just fucking weirdos. They are. Is there any snake people in the chat blowing up right now?
We got Sarah. Sarah's in the chat. She says, "I
Oh,
like
of
snakes. You've gotten along with
Sarah.
me, Tansey."
Of course, Sarah likes snakes. I'm just
Sarah
kidding, Sarah.
Kelch.
Liking trouser snakes is different than cobras, though.
But okay, so these people in Florida, they
Maybe she's
own
gay.
an 8'6"
She's
snake
gay.
named Gypsy. Mike, how if you were to have an 8-foot python, what kind of enclosure would you keep it in?
Something like that I could lock.
Yeah,
Like it would have to be a glass cage with a locking iron top.
yeah.
And I would call my python Sylvester Stallone.
Okay. Well, they call this
if I-
one Gypsy.
Why have you thought about this?
I haven't thought
And-
about it long, just while we were talking about it on the show. That's what
I like
named
how
my
they
snake.
call it a gentle snake
Stallone.
during the trial. That's pretty funny. But anyway,
Really, the snake is
these
gentle.
two retards decide that they're going to keep this 8'6" python in a glass case with a quilt for a lid that they have bobby pins holding it to the aquarium side.
That
Now,
ought
you
to do
gotta
it.
be
Good
a
enough.
real special kind of stupid to think that that's going to work.
First of all, anybody that has a snake and doesn't think, especially constrictors, who think that they're not going to constrict. I mean, it's like getting on a bike and wondering why you're not flying. You fucking dummies. It's a bike.
Yeah.
It's a boa constrictor. It's going to constrict. It's going to be you, or it's going to be what you feed it.
Yep. So they leave this thing basically free to do whatever it wants, because like no quilt with bobby pins or like, you know what I'm talking about, like clothespins is going to keep a 9-foot snake from doing anything. Problem is that they have a 2-year-old in the house.
Yeah.
And so Mr. Darnell, how many felonies do you think Mr. Darnell has
Oh, across his
before this
illustrious
incident?
criminal career, 32.
No, he had 6 prior felony convictions.
That's convictions.
So yeah, and then she had a child abuse, one of her child neglect, child abuse. So of course, right, like stereotypical snake owners. And this is out of Tampa Bay. Well, Darnell wakes up after a nightly bender, goes over to feed his snake, and it's missing from the cage. And he's like, "Fuck, man, where's Gypsy?" So he's walking around, Gypsy.
Gypsy,
girl.
you sly son of a bitch. Where'd you
Come
go
here,
this time?
Gypsy. Where you at? Oh, there you are in my 2-year-old's crib with my 2-year-old crushed beneath your, strong
Coils.
muscular coils, and trying to eat its face.
Yep.
So
Yep,
he
that'll do
picks
it.
Darnell and the child up, slams the both on the floor. Snake doesn't give a fuck. It's eating this 2-year-old. The 2-year-old was cold to the touch at this time, according to Darnell. Darnell runs and grabs a cake knife and a butcher knife. I don't know what the difference in a cake knife and a butcher knife are, but
Well, the cake
comes
knife
back-
kills him. The butcher knife cuts him up after, I think.
I guess. Well, he gets to
You
work
make
on
some
this
snake
fucking
ribeyes.
thing. And anyway, gets 10 years in prison for it. And I don't know. But there you go.
Jeez.
That's
Snakes.
why you don't. That's why you don't mess
Enough
around
of
with
these mother
snakes,
effing
man.
snakes.
Like why do you need to have a fucking king cobra in
You don't.
North Carolina?
You don't. What are you going to do with it? You're going to pet it? What are you going to do with the king cobra?
What are you gonna do with a spitting
Especially
king cobra?
it
And like, aren't
spits.
you
It spits
sad?
its venom. What are you going to do with it?
Aren't you sad
Hang
for
out
the
with it?
snake?
Freaking take it for a walk?
Like
What are you
the
doing
snake
with
has
that?
like, what has it got, like
Stop.
a 10? Like what? How big can a fish tank be? 50 gallons? So he's got like 50 gallons worth of room to mess around in. Like let the snake go.
This is nuts. It's insanity. Pure insanity.
Pure insanity. All right, we're almost done with this.
Number two.
Number 2, we're not even going to number 2 because it's human homicides. Homicides only, 400,000.
I like this photo.
This photo's
Look at this
amazing.
guy. It looks like the guy from Blue's Clues.
That's a real homicide.
Yeah, when
right
Steve
there.
finally had enough of mail time.
Yeah. And then the animal that kills the most people in the world, mosquitoes.
Why'd you keep this on here if you took away snails?
Because we've all faced mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes are terrible.
We've all
bro.
faced mosquitoes.
We've all been bit by mosquitoes, which I don't know, like I would say that Florida has the most deadliest animals on that list.
Freaking swamp. Yeah, Florida definitely seems to top the list on those things.
But real quick, and we'll close it out here, but in the United States alone, the number 1 killer of humans is brown bears. They kill 70 people. Snakes at 57, sharks at 57, black bears at 54, alligators at 33, cougars at 16, polar bears at 10, wolves at 2. The top 5 places to die by an animal in the United States: Texas, 520 people; California, 299; Florida,
That's just 'cause
247;
sheer land size.
North Carolina, 180, and then Tennessee, 170. So
North Carolina made the list?
yeah,
Dude, you're screwed.
Number 4. Florida's number 3. So I went from the number 3 to number 4. I'm getting better, getting safer.
I feel like the more I hear about all these problems in other states, I'm like, a little bit of winter, a little taste of winter every year in Michigan's not that bad.
That's what's nice about Michigan. The only time you have to worry about animals if you go to like the UP, and that's it.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Run into some bears and stuff like that, but
That's rare.
you're not even going to get bit by pike in the lakes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Get some little fish to swim up your pee hole.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
guys, that's
You gotta
Night
stay away
Shift.
from those things.
Next week on Night Shift, we've got Todd McComas.
Of the 1041 podcast.
1041 used to work for Barstool Sports, but he'll be on telling us some kind of crazy homicide story.
Yeah.
He wants to break it down. And then the week after that, we have a guy from the parks. He's a park guide, but he wrote a book called Deaths in the Grand Canyon. And he's going to tell us all about the crazy deaths that have occurred in the Grand Canyon, most of which are unsolved.
The Grand Canyon would be on this list of animals if it was living, because there's a lot of people die in the Grand Canyon, man.
Yeah, I think more people die there than, or it's like Yellowstone and then the Grand Canyon.
People are stupid. That's why.
Yeah,
Like, it's hard not to support these deaths. It's hard not to be a believer that this is the beneficial thing.
12
for
deaths at the Grand Canyon each year.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, most of them aren't accidents.
Oh,
Most of them
there's
are
been
people being dumb.
There were 18 in 2021.
That's a heavy year.
Well,
COVID,
it's a
man.
pandemic. Everybody was trying to get outside.
They all died of COVID-19. I promise you that.
Yeah. But yeah, there's
Park,
how
Park
many
Ranger just looks
yeah,
down.
there's some-
COVID guy.
COVID. Not my jurisdiction. I don't have to deal with this mess. Bring in the feds. Bring in the CDC.
Yeah, man.
oh my God.
Alaska is more dangerous per capita. Florida just has more clowns.
Ain't that the truth?
And they also have tornadoes, hurricanes, and as we
Somebody-
mentioned before, Casey Anthony.
Somebody in the chat said that they accidentally killed a panda once.
What the fuck? How do we
I mean,
miss
I guess
that?
once was a little too much, because doing that twice in your life would be pretty phenomenal. I don't know. I don't know who it was. I just saw it passing and people were talking about it. So
I thought that Eric mentioned something about a panda for a second because people were messaging.
yeah,
about it.
people were talking about
Panda,
pandas.
panda.
All right,
killed
let's.
Alex Curry says, just got home to see my boo. Sexy motherfucker. Wow, that has nothing to do with animals. Maybe he's going to treat me like an animal later.
Well. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening. Go to the Discord. If we're going to take 50 more people, especially if you killed a panda, that would be a cool thing to drop into the Discord and share that story with all of the Wolfpack in the Discord. We appreciate it. We're going to, as we kind of develop the Discord, we'll open it up to more and more people. We just kind of try to still get used to that medium for ourselves, let alone everybody else. Keep that bad boy under control for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Any other
I think
parting
it's gonna be
words?
Fun. I've been learning the whole Discord thing. So
Yeah.
thank you, Ghostbed. Use that promo code Drinking Bros. Keeps this shit show on the air, and we'll be with you Thursday. I've got last call of the day, going over all sorts of news, all the things that you need to know to save your third marriage. Talk like a human over the weekend. Then Friday, of course, we have a big show lined up for you guys. So until then, follow.
I'll be in
hit that-
Houston. I'll be
Oh,
remote.
that's right. That's right. That's right. Oh, what, you got any update on swag?
I should have a clear idea. I'm wearing a Relentless Defender shirt right now, and they are going to be printing our merch. So we're working on a few tweaks, but I would say that we will be back in business with merch by April 1st.
Okay.
So
Wow.
we'll have
Wow.
we'll have something
Coming up.
lined up then.
Just
We'll
in
be
time
able to
for
add more
Easter.
designs after, but yeah.
Just in time for Easter. It'll be a lot quicker, a lot better
When you
quality.
think Easter
So,
apparel, you think failure to stop.
yeah.
You know,
Don't think Jesus. Don't think
we're gonna
birth
bring
of Jesus.
our merch back from the dead. That's the Easter story
Oh,
this year.
God.
All right,
Oh, that's right. Easter's not the birth of Jesus; it's the
you
reserection.
dummy.
Boy, that's
A terrible Christian.
That's
All
another. That's another week in purgatory. All right. Well,
With that, guns up, giddy up.
guns up.
See you
giddy
guys
up.
next time.
See.